If you've ever thought about investing in a hedge fund, you probably want to know more about what these investment vehicles are all about. Here to tell us is Dave Zier of Convergent Wealth Advisors. Thanks for joining us, Dave.
Yep, thanks for having me.
So let's start out with, what is a hedge fund?
A hedge fund is a limited partnership vehicle that can do just about anything it wants. It can go long, it can go short, it can be invested in stocks, it can be invested in bonds, commodities.
Right, so it sounds like some can operate pretty much like a mutual fund that you might think of as a traditional vehicle for a 401k, and then others could be much more esoteric in what they invest in.
Sure, they can. And in general, hedge funds, most of the hedge funds are geared toward investors that have $5 million or more to invest. But lately, one of the movements that's happened is this liquid alternatives, which is a number of the hedge fund shops are setting up mutual fund formats of their strategies that they don't do exactly the same thing, but they mimic some of what they're doing in their hedge fund strategies. So they're available to investors with small amounts of money from $5,000 up. So the direction is that some of the hedge funds are moving that way and coming into the retail market, which is good.
Now tell me what you recommend for your clients, who I guess mostly are very wealthy people. Are you often putting them in hedge funds, or do you use them for very specific things?
It really depends on what we're trying to do for each client. Each client is different, and we build custom portfolios for them. But we tend to have, in most of our portfolios, somewhere between 10 and 20% in hedge funds.
I see, so just 10%. It sounds like kind of a diversification vehicle for them.
It is, and I think hedge funds to the rest of the world are scary. They are things that when people think of hedge funds, they think about people taking big bets and taking big risks. The hedge funds we tend to invest in are really to dampen volatility and control risk.
So how do you make sure that you're not putting customers into one where there might be some shady dealings going on?
Well, we spend a tremendous amount of time on due diligence, and that is looking at background checks, looking at the people we work with, auditing their financials, making sure that we're comfortable with everything they're doing and that we feel like it's a safe investment for our clients. And then we continue to do that on an ongoing basis. Okay,
great. And is there any that you would recommend to the CBS Money Watch audience?
I think probably one of the better ones in the credit-oriented space is a firm called Whitebox, and they have a liquid alternative mutual fund format, which is a good strategy that tends to be very similar to their hedge fund strategy. That's one of the ones that I would recommend in that space.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.